afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. It's important for the parties sitting around the negotiating table to develop a package of reforms and financing that would allow Greece to return to growth and debt sustainability within the eurozone. That is the target that we have been aiming for. And the good news is that achieving that goal is consistent with the interests of all of the parties at the negotiating table. These are obviously difficult issues, but the United States has been strongly encouraging all parties to pursue this goal, and that's something that we continue to do even today. European currency union, and we hope that all sides will continue to act in that spirit. The fact is the U.S. exposure to Greece is small in terms of our direct exposure, and for that reason, this was even true sort of at the previous height of the Greek crisis back in 2010 and 2011, that Greece does not pose a major direct risk to our banking system. However, what we've said for some time is that robust growth and economic stability in Europe is clearly within the U.S. economic interest, but also in our national security interest as well. These are obviously difficult issues, but the United States has been strongly encouraging all parties to pursue this goal, and that's something that we continue to do even today. There's no one in the administration or in D.C. that's contemplating a federal bailout of Puerto Rico. But we do remain committed to working with Puerto Rico and their leaders as they address the serious financial challenges that are currently plaguing the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. The Treasury Department and other administration officials have been engaged with Puerto Rico to try to help them get access to all available and existing federal resources, and to reform the island's power authority to get a better hold on the costs associated with that. What our negotiators are currently engaged in is an effort to try to complete negotiations consistent with the political framework that was agreed to in the first week in April. And yes, it is the day before the deadline, and at this point, I would anticipate that the negotiations will extend past the deadline. This is not surprising or uncommon. Those of you who covered, Michelle, I know you covered this closely, the previous round of discussions that led to the political agreement in early April. The deadline for completing those talks was actually March 31st. An announcement wasn't made until April 2nd about the agreement. So I wouldn't be surprised, and in this case it's likely that the negotiations will extend beyond the deadline, and our negotiators will remain in Vienna past the deadline in pursuit of a final agreement. We understand at this point that that's